Hi, I'm Andrew with Infinity Cutting Tools. Here at Infinity, we carry two different router bit sets for making mission and shaker style doors. The first is the 61-502 rail and style set. It makes a traditional square edge door with a true 1/4 inch tongue and groove for any time you're using true 1/4 inch thick plywood for your panels, or you're making a true shaker style door with a solid raised panel. The 61-507 is designed when using undersized plywood in 5.5 or 5.9 millimeters, and it comes with the appropriate slot cutters to make the perfect fitting groove for your plywood panels. Let me give you a quick look at how easy these sets are to use to get great results in your shop. The 61-502 makes a true 1/4 inch tongue and groove, ideal for solid wood panels or when using true 1/4 inch plywood. It works with material up to a full 7/8 of an inch thick and includes a handy setup block. To set up my 61-502, I'm using the included setup block to set my bit height. And I'm using a ruler against the bearing in these bits to set my fence. To make my rail cut, I'm also using an Infinity Pro coping sled to make the tongues on the end of my rails. To make the groove on the inside of my door for the panel, I'm actually using the end of my rail to set the bit height. This ensures that the tongue and groove will match perfectly. I'm also using a set of JessEm clear cut stock guides to help hold my material nice and solid as I run it through the router bit. The perfect accompaniment to this router bit set is the 90-502 standard raised panel. It produces a traditional looking raised panel door, and when you turn that panel inward, gives you that great classic shaker style door. When making doors with a plywood panel, we all know that 1/4 inch ply is rarely a true 1/4 inch. That's why the 61-507 set comes with both a 5.5 millimeter and a 5.9 millimeter slot cutter. The tongue cutter needs to be shimmed depending on whether you're using the 5.5 or the 5.9 millimeter slot cutter, and it comes with the appropriate shims to do so. Let me show you how easy it is to set up. Right out of the package, the tongue cutter is set up to make a 5.5 millimeter tongue. To change it to make a 5.9 millimeter tongue, we just need to loosen the nut on the top of the router bit and remove it. And under the nut we'll find a washer and a set of 5 thin shims. We just take these shims, slide them back onto the post, reinstall our slot cutter, our washer and nut, tighten the nut back down, and we're ready to make our 5.9 millimeter tongue. The groove cutter will be disassembled when you receive it, and you'll need to choose which slot cutter to use. I'm going to be using the 5.9 millimeter slot cutter, so I'm going to slide it onto my arbor that I've installed in my router. I'll take one of the shims, then the bearing, a second shim, the washer, and finally the nut, and tighten everything down, and I'm ready to make my grooves. Because this set comes with two different slot cutters, it does not include a setup block, so I use the end of my rail with my tongue to set the bit height for my groove. If your next project involves making a mission style or traditional shaker style door, we've got you covered here at Infinity Cutting Tools.